Okay, good afternoon everyone. I've got a quick repair video today. I have this Xbox One controller connected to Windows via the micro USB connector. So just a quick background on this. This is a limited edition Xbox One S controller. You might be able to see it's the Night Ops Camo edition. I think I won this on an eBay auction for £6 to £7 UK pounds, and with shipping I think it came to £12 or £13. It was described as faulty, but it's mostly working and it's in really good condition. The analog sticks, I checked, they're okay, and all the buttons work except for this button here. This is the view button, which is not responding, and I'll show you that now on the Windows screen on my PC. As I said, I've got this connected to my PC with the micro USB connector. So I've got the browser app open here, which is called hardwaretester.com. I'll leave a link for this in the description. So this is the option button, which is the button just to the right of the view button, and this one is mapped to B9. You can see this is working fine, as all the other buttons are working fine as well. But you can see here, this is the view button, which should be mapped to B9. I'm pushing this now and it's not responding. So most of the time this is an issue with the conductive rubber pad that lays onto the logic board. That needs cleaning. It's quite sensitive to dust and debris. Sometimes the pad on the logic board itself also needs cleaning. In less common cases there'll be damage to the board, like trace damage. I'm hoping that's not the case today. As you can see, I've already partially disassembled this. I'm just going to disconnect the cable and try removing the logic board and go from there. Usually I would desolder the cables, but just in case you don't have a solder iron, I'll just show you can actually take this off, like the lower logic board, which is what we need to remove. You can do that without desoldering. It's a bit awkward, but I'll show you how to do that. Okay, we're back on Gamepad Tester and I'm pushing the button and it's still not working. Okay, sorry about that. I had to do a little bit of investigation, but I think I may or may not have found what the problem. I think this is a logic board problem. Now this is not the same board that I was working on. So the board that I was showing you earlier is this one here. I've just marked it with a pen like fault. So this is the button that when you push does not respond, and this is a donor board. So this is basically a board that I do know is working. So I know that this button on this logic board works fine. When I followed all the traces, this button goes to a point on the other side of the board called TP25. I think that is a test point. So this is this side of the button is connected to ground. That's the ground side, and this side of the button goes to another controller chip on the other side of the board. You have continuity going through this D4 point here. If you have a look on this side, you can see TP25. So I've got one of the leads connected to that D4 point, and on the top side TP25. Okay, so that has a direct link. It's about 0.8 ohms, so it's a clear connection. And if I do the same on this board, which is the faulty one. And if I connect that D4 point on the other side to the TP25 point on this side, got that connected with D4, I'm not getting continuity. So I think somewhere in this board, I think I did find it, that one of the perforation points on the board has something jammed in the middle. So I think this is the problem here. Sorry, not this one. This one here, I've got an arrow. It's quite easy to forget where it was. I think this perforation hole here, when I connect these on either side of this board on that same point, I don't get a clear continuity. I have to push very, very hard to get a continuity. And even then, the resistance in ohms measures quite high. On a regular line, you should get an ohms reading of about 0.7 or definitely under 1 ohm. I'm going to try to repair this connection here. I've got a pair of pliers. These are grippy pliers, not smooth ones. This is just a normal sewing needle, and I'm going to try and push and make the hole here bigger. So I'm going to try and widen the hole here and then put a link wire through this hole. Hopefully that's done now. I'm going to check again. So this D4 point, and connect it again to the TP25 point here. So I have to tilt that. I'll just quickly have a look underneath. There. So now I've got continuity on both sides. That might have fixed it. What I'm going to do is just connect this up again to Windows and see if that solved the problem. So I've got this partially assembled. I've just put the two logic boards together. Remember, this was the donor board. Put that aside, I won't actually need that. I soldered a link wire through the hole because I got continuity between this point and TP25 on the other side. I should be okay. I'm just going to connect this micro USB port. I'll just overlay this. I'll try and push this button and see what happens. Okay, so I'm on hardwaretester.com. This is the B9 button, the button on the right. Now you can see the B8 button is responding. So the view button and the option button are both working. So we've reached the end of the video today. I've reassembled everything. I did a little bit of cleaning. Sorry, I said this was just going to be a short video, but I didn't expect board damage, so that's why it took a little bit longer, but everything worked out okay. And yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll just finish out the video showing all the controls. This is the regular check that I always do to make sure everything's working, and then I think I'll finish it there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.